all the cartoons I watched as a child. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's stream where we're going to be talking about anime, animation, and the passing of Rachel Lillis. Because, gosh, she had an impact on a lot of our childhoods. Or far of an old man gamers mid-50s. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So, everyone, everyone here has seen anime. Bubba, his life is basically One Piece. Okay, so
I'll throw some superheroes up in there too.
dude, you watched all of One Piece in like 20 weeks, okay?
Yeah, 1,072 dubbed episodes in 20 weeks. Literally, averaging 53 episodes a week. I'm very proud of that record. I had to wait a month. Then they released the 13 final episodes of the Wano arc, and I cleared those in a single night. So,
Okay,
yeah.
do you want to
Wow.
start us off by talking about One Piece?
Does a bear? Never mind. Okay, so yeah, no, I was really late to that particular party. Like I had put it off. I was one of those that got intimidated by the amount of episodes that had come out, and then all of a sudden, I found the means to watch it all, and boy, did I watch it all. And going through 20 years worth of anime in 20 weeks seems extreme, but
Because it is.
you get to it. Yeah, that's up for debate. But the point is that you get to see how far the animation has come over the years. Some for the better, some for the worse. But the point is that it is, every day that I watch this, as painful as Funimation can be, I am so thankful that I did not watch the 4Kids dub when I was a kid. Because for the love of God,
that basically changed.
now, don't get me wrong.
Lollipops.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There were a lot of things that 4Kids did that, like, they didn't have a choice. They knew they had to soften it up so that we could get anime at all. I give
I'm
all
gonna
due
be that-
respect.
I'm going to be that guy. It never should have been given to 4Kids simply because they had those kind of restrictions.
Well, yes, but it wasn't just 4Kids. It was literally American television in general that was, that was putting these restrictions up. That was the reason why Batman the Animated Series got softened. When they brought it back later. Or I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it. But the fact of the matter is that giving 4Kids their entire respect. Without them, there are a lot of things that we would not have nowadays. We would not have, but
You're a lot more gracious than I am.
well,
Yeah,
they got us through the door.
Yeah, they did with Yu-Gi-Oh! But damn, the stern talking style Kaiba got. From those security guys.
But regardless of all else, the fact of the matter is that Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, he started releasing chapters of the manga in Shonen Jump in Japan all the way back as far, I believe it was 1996. So the fact that we are coming upon 2025, I mean, we're talking about almost 30 years of One Piece.
I think that the only one, and I'm talking about manga-wise, that could come close to that, I think, was Berserk, which never got finished because the creator kept resetting it.
Well, Bleach, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z's been going since the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but Dragon Ball has kind of evolved and mutated into other shows, whereas One Piece has been static all the way through. It hasn't changed.
But the thing is,
or anything.
Yeah, the thing is that as far as manga numbers go, One Piece is pretty solid on that. And like I said, dubbed episodes were up to 1,085. They just released, I believe, 1,100, 1,115 in the sub 2 days ago, I think. But anyway, the point is that, like Dragon Ball or Pokemon, it doesn't matter where you got in the door. If you raided your older sibling's stash and accidentally saw hentai porn, the the point is that those of us that love anime today are we've got, we've obviously got some freak in us. It did make us more to explore certain things, but at the end of it all, Western media would not have had. Yeah, I feel like Western media would have died a lot quicker had it not had the incentive to compete with anime.
Yeah.
So, that's where we're at.
Talking about breaking in and watching other people's stash. So, Gamer, you wanted to talk about Sailor Moon.
Wow.
No, I actually didn't.
That was an opener.
What do you want?
No, you guys are talking about Magna series that ran much longer than my favorite. My favorite was Inuyasha. Do you remember that?
I don't know. 29 seasons in, and he still hadn't killed Naraku. So, I mean,
See,
it ran pretty damn long.
But see, I was pretty devoted. I was pretty devoted to that series, and when my son was young, he kind of picked up on it with my wife and I watching it. And in the United States, Viz Media, Inuyasha, it didn't end, but it stopped. They stopped doing the English dubs, and the remainder of the series was finally. Well, was it finally dubbed? No. Well, if it was finally dubbed, we didn't watch the English dub because, I don't know if it was Crackle or which service had just the straight Japanese, where you could do it you can watch it with the subtitles. And so we watched the end of the series in Japanese, which my son enjoyed because you look at the characters. So you have Kagome, you have Inuyasha, but there are actually a lot of fun characters in there. So like his favorite character was Shippo, which was a little fox demon. And it's weird that you'd have an adult and a child interested in the same anime series, but you guys were talking about how Western civilization would have kind of slipped if it wasn't for Magna and the anime, and I think that's true. Japanese media is much more, I don't want to use the term extreme, but the way they do things is much more engaging than what you see today. And I was just thinking about some other shows. I mean, back when I was a kid, so like Speed Racer, where I didn't even realize it at the time that series only had 1 year. But as a kid, Speed Racer was like, wow. I mean, there was Bugs Bunny and other stuff on, but Speed Racer, man, this is crazy stuff. And
you also got to mention Fortress Macross
hold on.
Robotech.
Before we move on to other points, Farv, you were saying something.
Shit, was I? Oh, okay. Okay, so the problem for me with this is, apart from One Piece and maybe bits of Dragon Ball Z, my issue was where I came in was with stuff that was either shorter or it was one shots. I came in with most of you won't even have heard of this show, but it was called The Dirty Pair. That had a couple of movies come out in the States, but initially you couldn't even get the series in the States.
Yep.
And it was about a pair of basically space bounty hunters who did really shitty jobs.
They made it through.
It was a comedy action series, but that was one that wasn't commonly available. Most of the stuff I like is considered by a lot of anime fans to be kind of obscure or just kind of off the main path. Like, I mostly got in with Gunsmith Cats, Jinro the Wolf Brigade, Rune Hunter Louie, Record of Lodos War, and freaking there's a few others that I can't think off the top of my head, but that was where I came in. And a lot of those they did well. Dominion Tank Police was a one shot, but yeah. But I came in with a lot of those. I didn't come in with the really big hitters initially. I watched Outlaw Star, yes, and also
That was a good one.
Trigun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are some ones I've never heard of, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I think there's so much of it out there. You kind of, pick your niche and you kind of stick with it.
Yeah. And see, Rune Hunter Louie was interesting because it was serious and it was one of those that would do serious shit and funny shit at the same time. Like, literally, the main character is a wizard who sucks at being a wizard. He wants to punch people.
Yeah.
And his whole shtick is he keeps trying to get involved with this group of treasure hunters who don't really want him.
Well, I mean, that's when you hand him a pan and tell him to cast iron.
Well, the problem is every once in a while he fucks up bad enough that he's actually useful. That's how he keeps getting involved with these other.
See, and that there is perfect. And if you want to compare that to Western media, I know that they're definitely worlds apart. But I mean, think about old shows like Get Smart, where the man was an absolute total fuck up.
Yeah.
But somehow he would bumble his way into solving the case. And so, I mean, anime does have a little bit of something for everybody.
Here's a interesting point on that. This whole focus on female leads, right?
Yes. One
of my favorites, and it was a long-running manga series, which unfortunately only got 1-2 episode OVA as far as anime. Gunsmith Cats was hilarious because it was written by a Japanese man, and it was about 2 female bounty hunters in Chicago.
Okay.
And it is hyper focused on cars and guns all the fucking time. And it's actually really good.
So there's a cat anime about smoking cars and guns, and you haven't told Kusri about this.
Well, I mean, let's be perfectly fair here. I said there's something for everybody, and even if you're not a geek, women, guns, and cars are like the all they need to do is add sports, and you got the big four.
The funny thing is how well the characters are written. The girl is like an exceptional shot, but she's not the best at dealing with shit, like on a personal level. She doesn't have but 2 friends. She runs her gunsmith shop in her spare time when she's not hunting freaking bounties, and that's pretty much her whole fucking life, is her Mustang, her shop, and bounty hunting. Her friend is a complete disaster who's obsessed with explosives.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And she's not perfect. And in fact, they actually point out at one point in the manga, unfortunately it didn't happen in the anime, there's a guy she meets, this motherfucker named Gray, right? She's actually ends up being terrified of this dude. Because at one point, she goes on this long thing to bring him in, and the dude fucks her up. Like, she barely manages to get him and send him to prison, to the point where she actually blew his arm off with a shotgun. The dude gets out of jail, gets a prosthetic arm, and comes looking for her again because he has declared his intent to cut off her arms and legs as revenge.
Okay.
And the dude just shows back out of nowhere, and she freezes up because the dude scares the shit out of her. And it's what I mean by like a female protagonist in this series like this that is not perfect.
Oh yeah. But Jen Sparks, what animes stick to you?
There were several. You had me. It was the first one that the first one I remember watching when I was little was, oddly enough, what Gamer said was Sailor Moon.
Well, that's
I probably
Gamer didn't really say that.
No, that was
Potato was helping me along. I've seen Sailor Moon, but that really wasn't the one I wanted to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, I did watch that, but I mean, again, I was still a big Power Rangers fan. But also, I did watch. I also did watch Pokemon. I watched Digimon, and of course,
Digimon. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a good. I like Digimon.
Yeah, and again, I only watched Adventure and Adventure 02. Those were probably the two best ones. And of course, you know, you had other ones like Cowboy Bebop, which I watched recently. And that's and Yu-Gi-Oh! I even had a small deck of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. One person I knew a long time ago, he had all 3 Egyptian god cards, but they got ruined in the wash, from what he told me.
I didn't have the cards, but I watched Yu-Gi-Oh too. I like that series a lot.
Yes, Akira.
Yeah, Akira. No, okay, so I'm going to say an anime that clearly ripped off from Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And you're going off on me.
Not really, Mike.
Do anyone remember Card Captor Sakura?
No, but I didn't watch a lot of those.
I do, but it's actually the other way around.
I didn't even watch Yu-Gi-Oh! If it was involving cards, I tuned out.
Yeah, Card Captors actually came out before Yu-Gi-Oh!
Really? Over here, it was the other way around.
No, but I'm talking about, like, as far as the manga concepts and everything else goes, Card Captors is before Yu-Gi-Oh! But yes, I remember that. I remember it had one kick-ass opening theme too.
Oh, it fucking did. But I've seen a lot of I used to love that fucking anime. But here's the thing that made me go, what the fuck? Because not a lot of people know it, right? Why is a deck of cards from Card Captor Sakura €58, while a deck from Yu-Gi-Oh is only 25?
There's less of them.
Yeah.
That'd be my immediate thought.
So supply and demand, I guess.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh has more. Like that, I was at Comic-Con and I wanted to go to the event going, you bitch, what the fuck?
Okay, the best way I can explain it,
I mean, that's a good
it got less popular, so it's got a more niche audience, and I'm really hoping that some fools like you or me will come in there and pay an exorbitant amount. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that for those cards. But no, so one that I know that Kusri would absolutely kill me if I didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Stories.
I'm sorry, what the fuck is that?
Okay,
Ghost?
so
Yeah,
do you want to do it? You want me to do it? Okay, so think about a show.
Is that some Junji Ito shit, or is this something goofy?
Okay. So to explain, this this manga was considered incredibly boring, but they were contractually obligated to make an anime of it. The anime was also considered extremely boring. So they send it over here hoping, because they wasted a bunch of money on production. And so they decide, all right, well, we'll see if we can get some money out of it. Let's let the Americans mess with it. Well, they tell the Americans, do whatever you need to with it. So America decides to dub it, and you guys have seen like Dragon Ball Z abridged or any of these other abridged, where they do.
No, because I tend to avoid them like the plague.
Okay, but the point is that they're all like, it's all parody voice overdubbed stuff. This is for them, it's the actual fucking show, and the creators laughed so fucking hard, like the publishers laughed so fucking hard at the American version, they redid it in Japan, and now they made money off of it in Japan. It's the one time that America actually improved an anime. Now, it is stupid. It is beyond stupid, but my God, you will laugh from start to finish. Every politically incorrect joke you can imagine is thrown in there. It is hilarious beyond belief.
Yeah,
but
like
if you don't know what you're listening for,
like the overly religious girl always bringing up Jesus at weird times is fucking hilarious. Like they went into one of the episodes I remember is that they went up to this mountain looking for ghosts, and she went, there's no such thing as ghosts. They're all demons because they're all going to hell because none of them know about Jesus. Like you, Timmy, because you're Jewish.
Well, see, and it is, and it's stuff like that. Like they'll make off-color jokes and stuff. Just bear in mind, this dub came out in the early 2000s, back when you could still use the British word for cigarette openly.
Yeah. Or else you can say words without having to sound stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah. But is there any other animes anyone want to bring up?
Well, I would bring up two things. One is going to be
Always.
an anime artist, and one's going to be an anime single.
Okay.
Well, technically it's single. Okay, I'm going to start with Jinro the Wolf Brigade, because Jinro is odd in that there was one anime, but there were 3 live action movies connected to it.
Right.
I think it was the Red Spectacles, Stray Dogs, and I cannot remember the third one, but they were both live action movies that were connected to Jinro. And whereas they were good, but there were parts from that were a little acid trippy. Jinro the Wolf Brigade I hold as one of those examples of just how serious and dark a fucking anime could be without getting into like edgelord bullshit.
Yeah.
So what Jinro is, it's set in an alternate reality in Japan after World War II. And Japan is struggling financially, but because of that, they start kind of adopting a lot of the German technology and equipment to try to maintain a power base within Japan.
Yeah.
So it focuses on this group called Jinro, the Wolf Brigade. They're called the Cerberus Corps, or the Kerberos Corps in the actual translation. They're wearing these full armor suits. They look like kind of like, if you remember the old heavy German stormtroopers from World War II. They're like those guys with these big ass gas masks on, backpacks, plate armor, and they're carrying MG42s like in squads. And they send these fuckers out to hunt down dissidents and criminals and shit like that are too difficult for the normal municipal police to deal with. They're basically a paramilitary arm of the government.
Okay.
And this is set in like the late 30s, early 40s. I guess that's like the late to mid 40s. But
yes.
The problem is there's all this strife going on because one arm of the government wants to get rid of this group. They don't think they need them anymore. So there's a power struggle going on between the government officials and the heads of this group, Kerberos, where basically they're getting played behind their backs. They're getting set up to fail. So they're sent out against this terrorist organization that's trying to destabilize Japan. But at the same time, the one best guy in the squad keeps running into this girl. And this leads back to a point because when they went on the first terrorist op, he chased after this girl who was supposed to be a member of him, and she was wearing a red cloak. And it plays into this Red Riding Hood, Big Bad Wolf fucking metaphor they're using in this story. Because she's wearing this hooded red cloak. He chases her down into the sewers, and when he corners her, she pulls the bomb she had and blows herself up right in front of him.
Jesus, that's fucking cool.
So it fucks with him, and they have to send him to retraining. So once he gets back on his feet, he's back in the squad. He runs into this girl that he is led to believe is that girl's sister.
Yeah.
And he starts kind of hanging out with her in his free time, and eventually they're getting very close, and she starts trying to convince him to just give all this up and just leave Japan with her. But at the same time, he's still got friends in the organization, and they're trying to uncover all this conspiracy shit. What it boils down to is eventually the girl was sent in to spy on him and set up the organization, but the guy's boss knew about it ahead of time, and they were basically playing counter spy shit on the girl. So at the end, when the officials who were involved and with the terrorists get found out, they hunt them down in the sewers, and there's a scene where they literally gun these guys down. I'm talking like they get cornered in an alley and they get taken out by MG42s.
Okay.
And they're not shy about it. They show everything. These guys just basically get shredded.
Fuck.
And
Okay,
what's that?
that does sound fucking cool though.
And at the very end, because it doesn't have a happy ending, at the very end, when the girl realizes what's happened, they capture her, and she realizes she's been set up, and she tries to convince the guy to just leave with her. He won't do it. So because she knows she's been caught and she's screwed either way, she convinces the dude to basically shoot her to end her life there so that she doesn't have to go to prison. And that's literally where it ends.
Talking about weird anime, so me and Kusri and Bubba to an extent, we're watching this new anime called Oshinoko. Its premise is fucking good. Basically, these two kids, well, it turns out they're reincarnated. The boy is a reincarnation of a doctor who was the so the mother in it, she was 16 and she got knocked up, and she ended up having twins. The doctor who was looking after her, he got murdered the night that she was in labor, and he's like, "Hey, Vincent," and he's like, "Okay, he got killed, so he gets reincarnated as her son." This 12-year-old girl was absolutely obsessed with her. And she died.
She was a pop idol. You left that part out, like the 16-year-old mom.
That actually explains a lot more.
Yeah, she's a Japanese pop idol, and this whole anime is showing the troubles with the whole idol industry, because they spend about a good 10 minutes. No, you are not, Vincent. Vincent says, "Am I alone in really missing the 80s and 90s anime?"
No, you are not. You are not at all.
The new stuff is not meant for Japanese. The new stuff is meant for American audiences to get the dollars. That's it. It's not meant for fans or anything.
It's part of the problem, yeah.
So she turns around and you see her, and it's like, okay, so here's what I have. Here's how much I make. Here's how much goes to my agent. Here's how much goes for this. Well, I should do this more. And it goes into painstaking details, showing, and they're like, well, now, if you start putting on weight or show that you're having a boyfriend, you're going to lose money. And at the end of it, she can't tell anyone that she has children, right? So she ends up getting murdered by a stalker. And the stalker's like, you don't care about anyone. And she's like, yes, I do. All on my table is inside in my house is a little vial of what you gave me. I remember it. I remember you. I remember all my fans. So basically, he killed her for nothing. And then it cuts to when the kids are now 18 years old. The daughter wants to be an idol, but they both remember their past lives. The son is incredibly intelligent because it's like a doctor getting re-educated, like as an adult, right? And he's like coming first in all of his classes, gets into the best college. He's working with a weird underground producer guy. So that's all well and good. But the manga really fucked up because he made both the brother and sister fuck each other.
Ugh. Right then and there. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Went from Zero to Lannister.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Now, I have a question for the panel.
Yeah.
Has anybody here heard of Junji Ito?
Nope.
No.
That is a rabbit hole. Yeah. I encourage each of you to go down individually. Yeah.
I was going to say I've heard of it. I never went down that proverbial rabbit hole.
Discord the name.
And yes, Space Battleship Yamato 2199, very good. I love that one.
I need to watch Space.
I have it on Blu-ray. I need to finish it. This is a book by Junji Ito. This is one of his short story mangas.
Okay.
Junji Ito is fucked up. And I mean fucked up in like the best way. This dude does ghost stories and stories about monsters and shit in Japanese myth and just in general.
Yokai.
This is an example of a page from a Junji Ito manga.
What? Enhancing. Well, thanks for Nightmare Fuel.
That's horrifying.
Okay. Sorry, I just realized my attention is slightly split here. I just realized that the name Junji Ito is the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought you were talking about a particular show. Now I got to figure out what. Now I got to figure out what show I've got in my mind. Thank you.
Junji
You're welcome.
Ito has an anime series, but unfortunately, it's never made it to the States. If it had, I'd have it.
Well, yeah, no, it's always cool to see somebody become an absolute fan of something, and even if you don't feel that passion yourself, seeing a real true fan of something is always cool, unless it's terrible. But
The fucked up thing is, it actually took me up until this year to even be able to get any of the manga. These, I only managed to get these because my local comic store started getting them. Because getting these in the States is not easy, even though they have English fucking translations. This dude even did a remake of fucking Frankenstein.
It's smart of your comic book store that they're getting that, because
Yeah.
as bad as
Oh,
the
yeah.
comic book industry is in the United
Yep,
States,
it is.
if you can get people in your store and they're like you did, you bought the book, that you keep customers coming in. That's how you stay in business.
Well, Collected is a trip. I've gotten 3 of these from them. I've gotten my wife has been getting the fairy tale manga from them. God, we've gotten a bunch of stuff. We got oh my lord. There's a whole bunch of manga. They had a prequel manga to Near Automata that got released that they had the whole thing of. Which was actually really good.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're into like Japanese ghost stories and shit like this, you want to look up Junji Ito because he does some really fucking weird shit.
Yeah. It does sound good, like, honestly. Okay. Hold on. Okay, Vincent says, let's go to the chat. Something that annoys me is they would create an anime based off D&D following traditional 3.5. That would be epic.
Vincent,
old school.
Vincent, have you ever heard of Record of Lodoss War? Because that was basically built on a Japanese equivalent to D&D, I think AD&D, actually. They even admitted it.
Wait, we need to ask a question. Who wins? Goku or Soups?
Neither.
Exactly.
Okay. Hear me out. Like I have this fight often with my brother. The fact of the matter is that in Dragon Ball Super, we see Goku get bruised by a bullet. And yeah, I get it. He's in his base form. He's a little out of practice. It's been a little while since he's kept his training up. But at base form, Superman does not get bruised by a bullet. So that just kind of takes the whole argument out of the equation there. Superman has fought gods. You say Goku's got divine power. Okay, Superman fights Darkseid. Yeah, I mean, and I guarantee you Darkseid would put Beerus into a fucking wormhole and kill him in it. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm not worried about Superman versus Goku. Superman wins that.
On that note of that, look, I wouldn't care if a fight it would sound pretty boring because I mean, basically, like you said in the rap battle, it's just one punch and over 9,000 screens is what it all is to me with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rap battle is better. But I'd say I can't really definitively say, but there's a lot of stuff that they both said. But I'm telling you, Goku he threw a lot more sticks and stones at Soups. The fact that he got beat by Batman, and the fact that his weakness is kryptonite, but also another understated weakness of who is also
Vincent
magic,
said Goku let himself get shot.
Goku has a weird kink. Sure he knew that he got shot? Like, let's admit it. Goku's kind of brain damaged.
He is a little thick, to be fair.
Yeah. But if we're gonna continue on about weird anime still. Personally, the weirdest anime I've ever watched is, of course, it's a harem anime. It's called Rosario plus Vampire.
I've heard of that one.
Yes, I've seen that.
The only harem anime that I've ever paid any attention to wasn't even the anime; it was the manga, and that was Monster Musume. My wife and I read it.
Now I'm a big Kenji Muyo fan.
Okay, yeah, that technically counts.
Yeah, I mean, of course, in Rosario plus Vampire, you know, normal kid goes to some weird boarding school, but it turns out it's a boarding school for monsters, and he's just a normal lowly human. And of course, he befriends a girl who's a vampire, and of course, you got other girls lusting after him, a succubus, another witch, a little prepubescent witch girl.
Well, then there was that one teacher who was like the plant snake chick.
Yes, again, everyone in that freaking anime were horny as hell. All the female characters were horny.
You sure that wasn't the hentai?
It wasn't. It was getting close, but it wasn't.
It got close, and I mean, I honestly feel. I mean, again, I wanted to see this thing through, but I mean, dear God, over it, I was embarrassed to be watching.
I'll put it this way:
tis a fine line between ecchi and hentai. Just remember that.
I'll put it this way: Monster Musume was kind of the same, but not really. It was set in a thing where it's like Lamia, centaurs, Cyclops, shit like that. There were like monster people, you know what I mean? But they lived in another part of the world, and they literally had like a transfer program where they were starting to come and live in like human areas. And the main character is this poor fucker who basically gets chosen by this lazy ass representative of the transfer program to host some of these girls in his house. And the whole issue is the snake girl falls in love with him. But the problem is that's not actually allowed by law.
Right.
So every time she starts trying to get cozy with him, this chick Smith will kind of just show up like she's a fucking like CIA agent or something and start like giving him a hard time about it. And the problem is she doesn't take her job that seriously. She just likes fucking with this dude.
Right.
And it just keeps getting worse because every time someone new shows up, she'll send them to this guy.
So the moral of the story is get out of your own way and do whatever it takes for that forbidden monster pussy.
Well, the problem is he's not even interested initially. Mia just kind of decides that they're a thing, and he's like, but I can't do that. It's against the law. But as the show goes on, she keeps throwing more and more of these girls into his house to the point they have to start coming in and renovating his house to actually make room for them. Like at one point, they moved the centaur chick in, and they have to renovate like his entire house because she doesn't fit in half of it.
Yeah. Okay.
That takes Fat Bitch to a whole new level.
It's funny as hell. It's so bizarre.
So, right, given how long we have left, let's just pull the plug. So, guys.
Well, before we stop, I think
we're not stopping.
Yeah, we need to address what the main.
That's what I mean.
Address that.
This discussion
that's what I mean, dorks. let me finish before you mock me. So, guys, we're as you can see, one of a huge voice actors from all of our childhood and some of middle-aged people's and other people's, depends how old you are, right? Rachel Lillis recently passed away from a very aggressive type of breast cancer. She was the voice actor since the early 90s. She was like Misty. She was like Jessie. Fucking Jessie, man. She, like, if you just
and
go
Jigglypuff.
into... Yeah, and Jigglypuff. Like, this is just a small cut section of her characters. Like, fucking hell.
And
like,
she even did Pikachu? Wow, okay.
Yeah. Like, hold on, let me just go through her anime IMDb without going to her movies, right?
Mm.
She was in the Takagami Guardian of Darkness. She was Satsuki. It was her first principal role in the series. Then she was Callie and Paola in the Slayers. Revolutionary Girl Yutina. She played 4 characters in that. Pokemon. From 1998 until 2006, she played Missy, Jessie, Jigglypuff, and a number of different Pokemon. She was in Slayers next. Then, there's a whole fucking list going all the way down. Like, her last role from 2016 until 2019 was Mito Fresca and Coco in Hunter x Hunter. She was in 2008. She was in Pokemon Mystery Dungeons as Sunflora and Shink's brother. Like, she did Pokemon voices. Like, she was also in a load of video games. Ultimate Smash, Lego, Jurassic World. She was in Ape Escape 2. Did a couple of Pokemon games. Like, this woman worked non-stop. And then fucking got cancer. Yeah. Her sister, back in May, put up a GoFundMe because it was announced that she had it, and several of her friends and actors shared to raise campaign money for it. But she passed away at the age of 55 last week. A week ago today, she passed away. Which is fucked. But yeah, like fucking who's your favorite characters that she did?
I'd have to see the list because I can't always put the name to the face.
Well, the fact that she
basically
was the voice behind those characters, I would say, Misty was probably her best character. I mean, again, the only reason why she went on Ash's journey alongside is because basically he broke it.
I mean, I always liked Misty, so I have to say that's probably one of them, but let's see here.
Absolutely.
Well, I liked her with part of Team Rocket. That was
son and I. Exactly. Yeah, that's
it was kind of a running joke.
Yeah, even then, like the thing before we went live, Revan, you told me the amazing ending she got, like Jesse and James got in the manga. And that was very, very sweet, the ending they had together.
But
oh my god, she was in Berserk.
You also know you were pretty good at the Team Rocket motto too, which I was pretty amazed at because I had to go back and look it up because I'd actually forgotten it.
Yes. To protect the world from devastation, to unite all peoples within our nation, to announce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach from the stars above.
I'll pay you $5 to do the dance.
Team Rocket, blast off the speed of light. Surrender now, prepare to fight.
Oh, Jesus, she was in Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah, you're knowing her from a lot.
Yeah, wow. Jeez.
Exactly.
For me, it was just fun, with my son because, he would like Pokemon. And
yeah.
So I would always joke, here comes Team Rocket and they're going to win this time. My son would be like, no, Dad, they're not. I'm like, no, I'm feeling good about it this time, really.
They're the bad guys. And bad guys are never supposed to win.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody brought this up, but
I'm trying to think. What were there was Jess and what was the other
Jesse and James.
Yeah.
They come in pairs and they're always named like the other ones are named Butch and Cassidy. They're always named after some American Wild West law.
Yeah.
But let's state for the record though that she did also get to play Jigglypuff in the live action Detective Pikachu movie. So that in and of itself is just kick ass, a nice mention to her credit.
I didn't know that.
She was also Jigglypuff in every Smash Brothers.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say, wouldn't she really basically only have to record Jigglypuff's lines once?
I mean, probably, depending on how they handled it.
Because they only do her name, so
because Jigglypuff has limited lines to be.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember that one line that really spoke to me from Jigglypuff, where she just said Jigglypuff. Can't beat
Yeah,
the
yeah, and of course the song. I'm
I'm just kind of floored that she was in Valkyrie Profile because
Yeah. She's prolific. She was our childhood.
Does any of you even know what that is?
I'll pretend
Well,
to do.
Valkyrie Profile
you-
was an RPG based on Norse mythology, in particular about literal Valkyries.
but
Okay.
if you want to talk about best roles, like, and this is freaking hilarious. And we're not talking about best favorite, and it's only because of what. Anyway, she played Danny, the little black friend, the male black friend from Sonic X, and that fucking cracks me up to this day.
I avoided watching Sonic X.
Oh boy,
I
yes,
saw
yeah,
one episode of
that's
Sonic
just like Tara Strong who voiced male characters.
Can't stop.
Okay.
It's always a very weird thing. You have female characters voicing male characters. Usually, just they're
Well,
just
that's
Bart
in anime,
Simpson's
that's a
voice is a
tradition.
woman, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I find, well, Tails has been voiced by a woman in the Sonic games for a long ass time.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how you can do your voice inflection. She's
It's
talented
all
enough
about
that
the
she
pitch,
can pull that
really.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I find amusing, I looked at the VP thing here. She played 3 different characters in that game.
Well, both my fiance and my sister would be very upset at me if I didn't bring up the fact that she played like 6 voices in the Winx Club.
Oh yeah, that's actually in here in her filmography.
Yeah. Like, she also did some audiobooks, Diary of a Fairy Godmother and Miss Watson Wants Your Teeth.
That's a title.
That
She was
sounds
in
like
one of the Fate Stay Night movies too, actually.
Was she?
Yeah. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, 2015.
Like, if you look at her movie, she was prolific in the Pokemon movies.
Oh, excuse me, that's a visual novel game. Still though.
yeah.
Well, I would
Plus,
say
we
she'd
know
go
that-
back to
I mean,
everything.
they still
you look
retain-
at the
I mean,
movies,
all
the
those
games,
movies-
and anime.
I mean, yeah, all
she was a
the
hard worker, you know.
all those
Yeah.
movies still retain the original English voice cast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was in Irresponsible Captain Tyler.
Oh, my God. Like, fucking hell, like, she's been in over 100 things. But, like, she was taken far too fucking soon from us.
She was even in one of the Captain Harlock movies.
Who was she? Because we watched that.
No, we watched one of the later ones. This one came out in 2000.
Okay. When was the one we watched?
We watched the most recent one. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it now.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. No, not the same, but I remember the movie, like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she was in Captain Harlock Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that Jesus Christ. Dark says the woman has been voicing male cat. A women have been voicing male character. That's actually a tradition from anime. Back because anime is based. A lot of it are either based on cats and the guys are based on younger people, right?
Mm.
So the way they do that is by having women play him. Because the guys, so if the guy's voice has changed, if they hired a younger actor to do the character, then the guys would change to puberty and shit like that.
Well, I mean, America's done that for a while. Bart Simpson's been played by a woman for 40 years now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the Geek Hero Bubba's been played by a woman for the last 52 years.
That's saying something. I'm only 33.
Yes, but you're the rebooted Bubba.
Oh.
Like Bubba from season 1. Was the 6'8" Amazonian woman called Hachenka.
Oh, so wow. Okay.
She could hunt geese with
So
a
it's like reverse woke swapping. Huh.
Well, I had
Damn.
to get transgender somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so Vincent says, and then there will be this really weird moment where somebody says, really pretty, and then they go, oh wait, I'm a boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tara Strong's been voicing like a load of male characters. Like
Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
Timmy Turner, Ben 10.
Ben
Even
I love both of those shows, Ben 10 and
no, wait. The actress of Buttercup voices Tommy Pickles on Rugrats.
Yeah. But okay, so Farv, do you want to grab your book?
I don't have it handy right now, but we'll just discuss it like we normally do.
Yeah, okay, so we'll start with Farv because I brought him up. Farv, you want to tell about your pop-up murder mystery story?
Wow, no, that's not what it is. Anyway, yeah, I have a fantasy series I'm working on. The first book's already out. It's out on Amazon while I'm doing the final edits for the sequel. It's called The Farvithia Chronicle. It is on Amazon in hardcover and ebook. Stop that cat. And I also run a channel called Farvithian Guards, a gaming and occasional commentary channel that my brother helps me work on. And that's all I got for right now.
Jet Sparks.
Yes, you can find me at JetSparks373. I have recently done 2 videos, and they are both on the recent Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and I've also done a review on the new Twisters movie as well. So you can go check those out under the playlist of Chomping at the Bit. So go. I've done. Yeah, like I said, I did one that's just like a non-spoiler review, but a spoiler review with my friend Bear64, who just tonight streamed Titanfall 2. So go check out his channel as well.
Awesome balls. Gamer.
On Tuesday, we're going to be finishing the MCU movie quiz. That ought to be fun. You can find me the oldest gamer on X, and pre-show, Potato is helping me get me one step closer to posting my first video on YouTube. Hopefully, that's only a couple of weeks away.
Hopefully. Bubba, would you like to finish us off?
Yes. All right. So, if you're really into adventure anime, I would like to recommend Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai from 2016. There was an older 80s series. It has not been translated. It's only subbed, not dubbed. And if I want to read my anime, I'll pick up a manga. Now, as for the manga, it only got to volume 5 out of 20 some odd. So, in America. So the best way to see the full story in its entirety, 100 episodes, Adventure of Dai, excellent series, sword, sorcery, all the good shit that every geek loves. Anyway, and also My Hero Academia is still freaking kick ass. But
I got one more thing when he's done. I almost forgot.
Yeah. But anyway, you can find me over on X. I am Geek Hero Bubba, and I argue with people and I geek out.
Okay.
Okay, the one thing I almost forgot, if for fans of Akira Toriyama here, there is a Sandland anime. It's one movie, but he did get that done. You can if you look that up if you like Toriyama stuff. I just found out about that. I actually have an order of the Blu-ray I got off of Play Asia.
Oh, nice.
Kick ass, man.
But guys, so I'm going to say thank everyone for coming. Just fucking remember, just check in on your families, because and people you haven't spoken to in a while, because you don't know how people are doing. Because after that news, I'm like, Jesus Christ, she was only 55 years old. So I'm just gonna say good night, God bless, and just everyone stay healthy and nerdy, and try not to die for the rest of the year.
Jesus.
Bye.
Bye. If you do, live